Okay, there we go, live. And Comics and Coffee for the 19th of February. And, well, you guys know who hosts this show, me, Matt, and Tank, although Tank usually shows up late.
Oh, yeah.
Although today I think he's got a pretty good excuse because this week Tank is very much tanked.
Well, normally he's eating dinner at this time, so.
Yeah.
Damn the time zones.
Yeah, also true. Also, here's something I just noticed on Twitter before we started. It's from SocietyReviews.com. Media claims Captain Marvel is getting quote-unquote review bombed on Rotten Tomatoes. Is that movie even out already?
No, it's not.
How can it be getting review bombed if it's not even out?
No idea. So, either someone's going crazy at that, or Rotten Tomatoes has opened it up for early reviews or something. Check the.
I'll give you the link right. I'll get the link. Let me send it to you. Here's what's it. I did click on it and there is something that is a bit telling about this particular site. It says Society Reviews, film reviews, news and editorials from a conservatarian perspective.
Okay. All right, so Captain Marvel isn't out until March 8th.
Yeah.
So something is definitely very wrong with that picture if nobody's able to see it yet.
Yeah, it's saying something to the effect of, you would think knowing the difference between the Rotten Tomatoes audience reviews and their audience interest would be pretty easy. Not if you are a member of the pop culture media.
Oh, and I also saw that Cool has covered it. So yeah, Cool, CBR.
Well, they would
Squire.
Wouldn't they be given like advanced screenings? No.
Yeah, but I don't think that advanced screenings are weeks in advance. Yes.
I know, I know sometimes members of the media will get to see a movie like in advance of the public.
I'm just going to look it up because sometimes, well, most of the times, Disney releases Marvel movies in other countries first.
Also, oh yeah, that's probably right.
Which is also something that's particularly annoying when you've got called Captain America, and it's shown in China first.
I have to wonder the logic in that because, like, Captain America, and you're gonna screen it in China first. Okay.
I don't see anything about. I doing it earlier. And, oh God.
Okay. Apparently, here's what we got. It says numerous publications are pouncing on the idea that racist, sexist, alt-right trolls are giving negative reviews to a movie they haven't seen yet. Yet the only problem is they aren't. What upsets the media is that people have been using the site's interested, not interested feature, a standard feature on Rotten Tomatoes, to gauge public excitement for a film that has yet to be released, in order to show that they are not interested in watching the movie and why. The problem for the media is that the movie they are not interested in watching is Disney's Captain Marvel starring Brie Larson, and that is a no-no. Okay, so now I think I get the idea. They are taking screenshots way out of context and trying to twist into something they aren't. So in other words, people are going to the interested, not interested section of Rotten Tomatoes and talking about why they don't have any plans on seeing Captain Marvel. And members of the media are taking that to mean they're trying to review bomb it when no. Like, okay, either they are that stupid or they are just misrepresenting that part of Rotten Tomatoes.
To be honest, I feel like they're just going to go after whatever they don't like. such as Alita Battle Angel, is not popular for the critics, so they're review bombing it. And so, even though it's got a female main character who seems to be very popular with the audience, they just can't seem to understand that there's a difference between how they view movies and how their audience views movies.
I don't know. I think it's. Hey, oh, dude. Canals is in the chat.
Hey, Canals. Wow. But in the case, here's a movie, how you can describe it.
Oh, it's just like...
With the critics, you have Ang Lee's the Hulk. And with the audience, you have the Avengers Hulk.
Yeah, I know. Like, there's... let's also not pretend that critics aren't always biased.
Oh, they absolutely are. I remember Roger Ebert saying that his biggest disappointment over Michael Moore's award-winning moment was that he didn't go far enough in his left-leaning monologue.
Yeah, fuck Michael Moore. Yeah, it's just like...
Well, you saw how badly the last movie went.
He's so bad, not even Flint wants him back.
I was afraid that he'll take away all the clean water for his own use.
Yes, they will. Yes, he would.
So we had a pretty good stream on Marmaduke's channel.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, that was something I thought we should at least discuss. I was hoping it would be with Tank, just because like he'd at least bring an outsider's perspective. But I mean, overall, I think we performed pretty well.
Yeah, we did. At least the dislikes don't outnumber the likes.
Yeah. I mean, okay, sure, like the numbers, the numbers weren't amazing, but you know what? That's still like, how many people were in the chat at its height? I mean,
there was a lot of people.
Last time I checked the views on that, it was at 66, but it was still like that's more people that still know about it. Although it seemed like the chat was full of people who already knew about what we were doing. But you know, it's at least good that we got out in public and elucidated more on it.
Well, there are people who knew about it but want to know more.
Yeah,
because they hadn't seen much about it.
That is also true. So yeah, look. Honestly, what is good is that we're starting to get out there and we are starting to push more, and people are starting to find out more about what we're doing.
Yep.
So we're honestly making good progress with it right now.
Yeah, and we're going to have. It's going to be it's going to be fun, I think.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. Honestly, I expect like once we start hitting up people like Weaponized Nerd Rage, then we're really the eyes come in.
Yeah. But it always helps to go on any stream you can.
Yeah, I know. Any stream is a good stream.
Yep.
Very good.
And Marmaduke definitely has more views than we do.
Yeah, let's be honest. Like our numbers are shit compared to Marm's.
Yep.
But then again, that's everybody else. Like, fuck. Like, even Tonka has better numbers than we do. He's always had even when we started streaming, he still had better numbers.
Yeah, although even with that whole controversy, he's doing better. But we'll get there.
Also true. It's just, I'm just saying. Okay, maybe I worded that wrong. Like, even after the hit he took, he still has better numbers than we do.
Although I have to wonder how much that is. People just hate watching him.
I don't know. I get the sense that most of that's died out just because, well, Worski is Worski and he's more addicted to the drama than he is to the coke. So right now, first, I'm actually surprised how it was pretty much in the blink of an eye. He goes from Tonka to try to dunk on Ian Miles Chong.
And then after that, he went after Jared Holt. But he has reason to go after Jared Holt, I think. This is it's been figured out that
the only thing the funniest thing I remember with
Sean?
Just Hank is leaving in the Slack, which I can keep hearing because your phone keeps vibrating.
No. Yeah, that's Slack. That's Hank giving us.
Yeah.
But I think it's still going on, honestly, based on what I've been seeing lately.
What I was gonna say though is in regards to Worski going after Jared Holt, that guy is Holt is such a scrub. The thing I can't remember. The funniest thing I can remember about that guy is that he kept trying to dunk on Nick Fuentes for having more followers than he did. And Nick just shot back with, "Yeah, but I'm verified and you're not."
And that's gotta burn.
Yeah. That's... Yeah, no, it's a sick burn. Actually, oh man, you actually want to see a sick fucking burn? I came across this last night.
Oh boy.
You know who Digibro is, right?
Yeah.
Oh, this is going to be the sickest of sick burns.
It's probably going to be quite odd for me, but I think that
for context on this, Matt, Digi was butthurt that JoJo Part 5 won Best Character Design at the Crunchyroll Anime Awards.
Huh. Wow.
Also,
wow.
Also, he's an admitted lolicon.
Oh God.
You see that, right?
Yep.
Oh my God, that is just mwah. It's just beauty. That's a thing of beauty.
Look, we all know that Richard Spencer calls lolicons just Jewish pedophiles.
Yeah, he calls lolly hentai ethical child porn. How do you feel? Hey, Digi, how do you feel about that?
I think it's kind of funny how there are comments who say that. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't like Richard Spencer in any way, but it's kind of funny how there comments who say that Che Guevara is better than him, despite the fact that Guevara was there. pretty much a homophobe and a racist.
Yeah.
And he actually murdered people.
Yeah, that's right. Because like I remember the other day, like I found that one tweet from that communist chick saying that Che Guevara was a good model for white people, and then I just dug up that one quote of Che where he's talking about like how black people are lazy and waste their money.
Oh boy, and here comes the whole the outrage mob with taking that out of context.
Yeah, I want to. Yeah, I want to know. Like, yeah, you're gonna tell me Richard Spencer is a. Actually, if we're getting right down to brass tacks, I think Che is a little bit more of a racist than Richard Spencer, because I passed this off to a buddy of mine, and he said like that Che actually comes off sounding like he hates other races.
I wouldn't be surprised, honestly.
Yeah.
Because it's just something that a lot of people who see themselves as revolutionaries tend to be.
Yeah.
They are a lot of them tend to be pretty racist.
Oh yeah.
But then you have to ignore it because, or at least for that time period, all for revolution.
Okay, so yeah, bring it right back to the comics.
Yeah, we do talk about politics way too much.
Yeah, we do. This is a show that has comics in the title, and yet there isn't much talking about comics.
That's how comics.
Yeah. I guess to just say on Tank though, he says we did well and we dropped enough info based on the chat logs. Folks seem invested and interested, so we know we're doing something right now.
Yeah.
It's think about the only challenge we're gonna have to overcome is that like this is gonna look a lot better if it's always you, me, and Dan in these types of streams.
Yep.
And it's not just because I don't want to presume to speak for either of you. It just has better optics, so it makes us look more united.
So yeah, it's better to go in with unity rather than separately.
Well, not just that. Well, yeah, I mean, like, because we are trying to sell everyone on, hey, three of us are trying to build a shared universe. It makes sense. It just the optics are just better if it's all three of us hitting up these streams.
Yep.
I just gotta hope Rage is flexible enough for us. I mean, it usually is.
Yeah. I mean, Sundays we should probably. I'll be good.
Yeah, Sundays. Maybe I can. Sundays are good for streaming.
Yep.
Yeah.
Especially for Dan when it seems like that's the day that he's free.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or at the very least, the only day he's free because.
Yeah, Dan's got that. Dan, unlike us, has like a real job.
And I know how my dad worked for Chrysler as a program software engineer, so I can tell you that I'm amazed that Dan's got time for anything really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is he gonna get in? But yeah, dude. Still. You know,
Well,
something I was kind of shocked about was that like how that everyone said like nobody else was doing a shared indie universe. Like that is something that blew me away. Like I knew we were gonna stand out from the crowd because it was the three of us working on a shared universe, but no one else had tried building one at all.
well, it's the whole thing that happened with CrossGen. They people had taken CrossGen and used it as a model of what not to do. To the point where they've even taken the idea that you can't do a shared universe unless you're Marvel or DC. And it had done. And then there's also Image who had tried to do the same thing, but that failed because it was too fractured.
Yeah. So
Basically, what I'm trying to say is that people take the wrong lessons from certain disasters.
you know, I'm confused. Like, what? Because like what I understand, what made CrossGen fail was like, well, like what I know about it is some things going on behind the scenes that means like supposedly there was embezzlement with the embezzlement, like, but a lot of those are rumors. But a lot of them also had to do with, but a lot of their problems were financial. But just like, was there anything that just didn't make that whole universe work or something?
Basically, the whole problem with CrossGen is the same thing that happened with Dreamwave. There was a scandal over freelancer payments. It had shown a financial problems altogether. The thing that's different about us is that we're not a company. We're not building a company brand off this. It's just our three titles for now,
Uh-huh.
and then and that's just gonna be it. We all take a share of the profit
Mm-hmm.
and so on. So it's just
So their problem was that they just did too many at once. Because like we've started out with just three, which is a good number to start with.
well, I'm not certain about the financial problems because for the most part, it did pretty well. Just over how what they did with the money.
And my phone's ringing. I should have about that, guys. I should have made sure my ringtone was turned off. I'm gonna fix that. All right, there we go.
But
So
yeah,
I'll give CrossGen this. I think one thing you can't take away from CrossGen though is that it was ambitious as fuck.
but yeah, no doubt about it.
I mean, they were making a shared universe that was combining high fantasy with science fiction and pretty much everything else.
And they also had top tier talent as well.
Yeah, they did actually. Yeah, or
Despite
and some of them they just like they had George Perez.
yeah, and despite what you think about Mark Waid, he was pretty high up there on the talent list too.
Yeah. And they also discovered some of the modern talent too. Like they had they discovered Steve McNiven and Josh Middleton. And so like I mean say what you will about what it turned into, but it was trying to do something big and epic.
Yep.
You can't, and I don't think that can be taken from CrossGen.
Pretty much. So for a lot of there's also a lot of talent in modern Marvel that came from Tokyo Pop.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Or at least some of the more controversial ones.
Hmm.
And right now, Tokyo Pop had announced International Women International Women Manga. Jeez, that's bad grammar.
Mm-hmm.
To showcase female manga writers with the publications of titles, which are basically Ocean of Secrets, Goldfish, Kamo, Undead Messiah, and Sword Princess Amatia. And I wonder, I wonder how that went because it was last year they announced it, and so far I haven't seen any of them in bookstores. So maybe it's just in countries outside of the U.S.
Maybe.
And it's likely that they're big relaunching. Oh, hey, you know who the first major licensor for Tokyo Pop in the U.S. for the relaunch was?
Oh,
Disney.
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 No, I'm just surprised.
Yep.
That yeah, that's a big surprise. As to me, isn't it? You know, I think bringing it back to Image though, I think I know you said like why it didn't, why the whole shared universe with them didn't end up working was because it was too fractured. Because like I don't know how many people know this, but the guys over at Image, like the the biggest problem you can put down to Image was that you had too many cooks in the kitchen. Like these were all got like all of these guys, they were hot fucking shit over at Marvel. So you had quite a few egos.
Yeah, and honestly, they had bigger problems than that too when they realized that they had too many artists and not enough writers.
Yeah, also that because yeah, like if there's any lesson that people should be taking from Image, it's that just because you can draw comics does not mean you can write them.
Yeah, and that led to some legal problems for Todd McFarlane too. In the case of Neil Gaiman.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Boy, that's so dear side of Todd McFarlane when he's reneging on contracts.
Oh man, there's a there's also like I think there was also allegations that Rob Liefeld tried
Embezzling.
um not embezzling, but more like trying to use other Image talent, which was kind of a he was trying to use other Image talent, which was sort of against their policy to not interfere with each other's work.
Huh. I'm not surprised. He hit. There are a lot of big egos, and his was one of the biggest of them all.
Yeah.
I'll say this about the whole Todd McFarlane thing. At least it brought out one thing about it, and that was that in the lawsuit over the characters Angela and Medieval Spawn, the judge ruled that without Heyman's involvement, these characters would not exist. So writers should have some say over what's going on. And since McFarlane had a deal with Gaiman that these are his characters, that was something that he had to honor.
Oh boy, but that stung.
You know, it probably really stung Todd McFarlane more.
What?
Gaiman went and sold the rights for Angela to Marvel.
Oh yeah, that's so true. You know, actually, something else. Something else.
Yeah.
There was like this one There was like this one panel of Spawn, where Spawn is like he's outside of what looks like the door to a prison cell, and
Yeah.
reaching from out of the bar from behind the bars are a bunch of hands, and they all look like the hands of popular Marvel and DC heroes, and it's basically Todd saying, I'm not constraining myself because I didn't sell out to the man. I control my character.
Yeah, he also tried controlling other people's characters too.
Yeah, yeah, that doesn't. Yeah, Todd, that so doesn't make you look like a hypocrite now, does it?
Nope.
To be fair, it's not. Let's be honest. Much does he really care? Because Todd McFarlane looks like he's made more money making toys than he ever did making comics.
Oh, no doubt about it, because the biggest thing that you do with entertainment is you don't make money off of what you make. You make money off of the merchandise.
Yeah. And not only
Star
that,
Wars was a big thing about that.
yeah, I know. And I mean, like, fuck. I mean, like, not only did he make a ton of money off his own merchandise, like, people were lighting up to get figures made by him just because of the level of detail he put into them.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's like I gotta tell me, man. Did you ever go into a Toys R Us and notice there was like a whole section for Todd McFarlane toys?
At one point, but I don't think I can check now because, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I haven't been to a Toys R Us in like years.
Well,
I
that's.
think there's still one in my neighborhood.
I don't think there's any anymore.
I mean, not my neighborhood. I mean, like there's one out in, I think there's one out in South Hill, not too far from where I live.
Well, then they all close anyway. Remember the bankruptcy?
Yeah, oh yeah, I remember that. But then didn't it turn out that they were going to be okay anyway?
Yep.
Yeah, but still, I mean, like those, well, like those Todd McFarlane figures, though, those are like,
Those are awesome.
yeah, they are great. Those are great toys. I mean, like, fuck, I'm not even sure I want to call them toys. I mean, like, those things are like,
Jeez.
yeah, I mean, like, because that's not a toy I would want to take out of the box, man.
Anyway, someone's at the door right now, so I'll be right back.
All right, I'll just monitor the chat. And nothing's happening. Although R-Wing jumped in and said that made me jump. Let me guess. Was that my ringtone? Sorry. If anyone wants to know what my ringtone is, it's a Jinx song called "Goat." Really great band. And you might know the guitarist Justin Wang. Yeah, it's the exact same guy who runs that YouTube channel and that show Tales from the Internet. Justin actually follows me on Twitter. He's a cool guy. He's a cool dude. But I'm not saying he and I are friends or anything. Yeah. But yeah, if you can, look up that song if you can. It's pretty tight. Alrighty. Can't say I wouldn't be surprised if you haven't heard of them or when like they're like they are pretty much they are an indie band technically. But yeah, you can find their YouTube channel though. I think they even have their latest EP out for sale too. You can get it on Google Play. It's like less than $6, I think. It's like some really good old school new metal. If that, wow, can I even say that's a thing? Old school new metal. That just sounds like an oxymoron when I say it out loud. Yeah. Yeah, I'll type it in the chat just so you can find it. Right now? There we go. And also, if you can, I would definitely recommend you sub to Justin's YouTube channel. Makes really good videos. Are you back, Matt? Matt! Matt, no! Matt! That was something Dan started, guys. I've no doubt. Haven't been around much. Been focused on my Werewolf the Apocalypse campaign. Oh, really? How's that been going? Are you playing in it? Or are you storytelling it, Arwing?
All right, I'm back.
Oh, there you are.
Yep. So turns out that I got a package, and it was so back in the 90s. DC Comics had the license for Star Trek comics. Found on Amazon some older comics and grabbed them, and that's what came in today. Which I'm gonna tell you something. Even though the art's old, art's almost 30 years old, it's still a lot better than what AW is doing with the brand.
It's not much of a Bardus set.
Yeah. At least the artist for the stories that they're telling actually took the time to look up what SIP design is, because some of the IDW stories set in the reboot universe, they use the Enterprise from the original 6 movies.
Really?
Can't be bothered to make certain they're using the right designs.
It's not like they don't have a movie to reference or 3.
It's well, to be honest, there's I don't know why, but they changed the SIP's model for every movie.
Well, okay, for like one thing, I sort of get they want to update the design a little, make it look more modern. I mean, I get that on one hand.
No, what I'm saying is that they took the original model from the first movie, and then they modified it for the future movie in each successive movies, so that the SIP does not look to as it did in the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Which is what really gets me about this the whole thing about continuity and the realism that Star Trek used to have with it would have let's have this continuous design throughout the movies and the shows, because one, they were practical effects models, so they couldn't do anything to modify them. But that also stood in with how ship designs work in real life. How long do you think an aircraft carrier Enterprise looked the way it did its entire career? Why? Because it's too expensive to just to change the physical appearance. Plus, it's pretty dumb.
Yeah. Plus, I was gonna. Yeah. Plus, you said like they mainly use practical effects because like it was too expensive otherwise.
Well, in the original movies, they didn't hit CGI wasn't.
Yeah. Well, they started getting CG around the time that
First con.
I was gonna say around Next Generation. Like there was some.
The last Star Trek movie to use models is Star Trek First Contact.
Really?
Yep. Direction onward, they use CGI.
Well, then again, Godzilla Final Wars is like the last Godzilla movie to depict Godzilla in a suit. I mean, okay. I mean, like for one, you know that the Godzilla in the 2014 in the Legendary movie CG.
Yeah.
So is Godzilla in Shin Godzilla. Done with motion capture.
Yeah, I'm not surprised because that's Hollywood.
I'm talking about Shin Godzilla.
Okay.
The Japanese one.
Yeah, so
Yeah, even they went with motion capture.
Jeez.
It's amazing that you can't even tell it though. You can almost not tell though. Like it still looks like a suit.
Well, to be honest, CGI, I don't know how much of it is purposeful and how much of it isn't.
I did. I saw a video by Wikizilla. Shin Godzilla was completely done in motion capture.
But it's not. It looked like it was a shoot because
Yeah.
they didn't have much to go with.
Well, it's like, the thing with the motion capture is the actor that got to do the motion capture, he basically moved around like he still was in a suit. Like even asked to have like a little wooden mask attached so that he could better immerse himself in the mindset.
Jeez.
And plus, I think also Hideaki Anno asked that the Godzilla looked like he had the texture of rubber. So it's motion capture, yeah, but it still looks like it's a suit.
Wow.
I was gonna say though, comparing Shin Godzilla to like the Legendary one, like you can see there's quite a few differences in like how the two versions of Godzilla are portrayed. Like in the Legendary movie, he moves around more like an animal.
Yeah.
Whereas in Shin Godzilla, his movements are a bit more like it looks more like a suit.
That's
Actually, have you gotten around to seeing Shin Godzilla yet?
I actually haven't.
You haven't?
No.
Yeah, I saw it. I mean, like I thought. Gun to my head, I thought the 2014 Legendary movie was a little bit better.
Wow. That's saying a lot.
Here's the reason why I think that, okay?
Okay.
I think the Legendary movie has better characters.
Well, I'm not surprised simply because with when the Japanese do it, it's more about seeing giant monsters beat each other up.
Well, not just that. I mean, like, dude, I mean, like, there are very few Godzilla movies I have not seen. And quite a few of them had good characters. Like, one of the best ones was, like, this one chick named Akane from Godzilla X Mechagodzilla.
Hmm.
It was, like, the third time they made a Mechagodzilla movie.
I see.
She was actually a really good character. She was actually one of the best protagonists in the series, in my opinion. Because she was a disgraced soldier. Like, years ago, she had been part of an operation to try and fight Godzilla, and she made a big mistake that got about several people in her unit killed. And she was basically carrying that baggage with her, and she'd gotten demoted to a desk job.
Yeah.
And for some reason, they decided to put her on the Mechagodzilla project, and you can kind of pretty much see the gears in her head turning. This is my chance to redeem myself. And that's pretty much what her whole arc in the movie is. It's her trying to prove that she's not just a screw up.
I see.
And especially considering after how badly, because especially after when they first put out Mechagodzilla, because like the twist in this one is that this Mechagodzilla was built around the skeleton of the original Godzilla. And the first time he goes out to fight Godzilla, he hears Godzilla's roar, and that just triggers a memory in him, and he goes berserk.
Wow.
So, like I said, not only she's still got that baggage from her old scrub, now she's got this one piled on top of her. She is, like I said, that's her whole arc in the movie. She's trying to find some sort of redemption and should improve herself.
Which is probably what's not going to happen in a Legendary series. If it's true that they're not going to have Mechagodzilla.
Oh yeah, I saw that Dangerville video because like, now that's not. Now again, that video is purely speculation.
Yeah.
Because Mechagodzilla hasn't even been hinted at all by the Legendary people, but when you take a look at the tone that the MonsterVerse is trying to set and the direction it's trying to go in, yeah, there's a compelling case to see why Mechagodzilla would not work.
Yeah, but then again, you could also probably say that it's a movie series about monsters who beat each other up eventually.
We're about to get that in the new Godzilla movie anyway, though.
Yeah, and then Godzilla versus King Kong. Oh boy.
I was talking about King of the Monsters.
I know, but they're going to be doing Godzilla versus King Kong.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're right about that. I forgot.
Which they're going to make King Kong there.
Oh yeah, because I remember like they actually hinted in Kong Skull Island that this Kong is not even fully grown.
Yep. Oh, something interesting I just learned.
Yep.
Just read. So, you know the cross-gen comic Ruse?
Keep talking.
Well, apparently back in 2006, there was talk about a script written for a Sam Raimi directed movie.
Wait, what? Which one of them? Which one of their comics were they trying to get made into a movie?
It was Ruse, you know, the one with the detective.
About the only cross-gen comic I actually read was Sojourn.
Well, there was a comic that was also written by Mark Waid called Ruse, and it was about a Sherlock Holmes type detective and a female Watson.
Uh-huh.
And I'm gonna say it was an interesting story that I'm not surprised that Marvel Comics decided to revive.
You know, actually, now that I think about it, didn't Marvel get the rights to cross-gen?
Yep. Although despite that, we're not reviving that shared universe.
Yeah, they've sort of kind of like tested the waters here and there with a few others.
Yep.
But then they did like do a Meridian relaunch. You know, even if they're not gonna bring back the shared universe, you know, like why don't they just, I don't know, take some of those books and fold them into the Marvel universe? Although, to be fair, a lot of those probably wouldn't work in Marvel.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like CrossGen was much of a shared universe as it was a shared multiverse.
Yeah, I mean, like some of the sci-fi books probably would work, but but the high fantasy ones like Medieval Lady Death or Sojourn, no.
Nope. But
I mean,
maybe
not unless they were.
no,
I was gonna say not unless they were gonna do like a Dark Knights metal thing or something, or was it DC Knights metal?
or
What am I,
Smell, but
what am I thinking of?
Smell,
Was
or
it,
all right,
was it DC Knights metal?
no, it's Dark Knight Smell.
Dark Knights metal. Okay.
But it could do what she's doing with Wildstorm in their revival of Wildstorm's properties.
Mm-hmm.
But if if that revival does work out, then I think it's possible that Marvel might be
Maybe.
willing
Although,
to.
although the thing with Wildstorm was like some of them worked, but not all of them did because the thing with Wildstorm was that it was very science based.
But they have Warren Ellis leading the relaunch. So having one of the more popular writers of that franchise does work.
Mm. I don't know. It kind of felt to me like when DC tried folding Wildstorm into the DC universe, it had mixed results.
Well, from what I read, this isn't reviving the Wildstorm properties into the DC universe. It was reviving Wildstorm as its own universe.
Really, because like I remember in the New 52, like they were trying to introduce like Wildstorm characters into the DC universe.
Basically, it looks like it's a fully revived imprint.
Guess they kind of got the hint that it wasn't working.
Probably.
It was just better off if Wildstorm was its own thing.
Yep. Yeah, now I see it on Wikipedia. It says that it was relaunched 2 years ago with Wildstorm.
All right, cool.
Yep.
You know, in regards to shared universes, you know, DC, we got the DC shared universe, we got the Marvel shared universe, but they've only got one each. Wicked has two. Wicked is about to have two of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I say that I don't really think that DC and Marvel have shared universes. They're all under one banner, and the company owns it, lock, stock, and barrel.
Uh-huh.
So I think we've got we have what is defined as a shared universe for our time. That's what I think.
I'm just saying though. I mean, like, we'll see. And Arwing says, "Be right back." Okay. We'll be here when you get right back.
Yep.
Okay. Now, what was I gonna? Now I remember what I was gonna say. Okay. So yeah, you got DC's got. I'm just saying, like, if you're looking at like what DC and if you're looking at what DC and Marvel have, like, they've only got like a single shared universe. Well, not between them, but they each have a respective shared universe that's just them.
Definitely.
Whereas over at Wicked, we're building them a second shared universe. Cody's got the Ironverse with what he's branched out. He's trying to branch out from Jack Irons with like by bringing other books into it.
You know, it's kind of interesting because I have a feeling that he had this all planned from the very beginning. I could be wrong, but in a way, it could be that what we're doing is the Mythoverse, we have the unplanned shared universe. With the Ironverse, we have the planned shared universe.
Yeah.
I have ideas to branch out Pix into its own world. But I didn't think it'd be of someone else, other people.
Yeah. Still, Cody's not writing all the. It is a shared universe though, because Cody's not writing all the Ironverse books. He's just writing Jack Irons. He's just writing Jack. He's got a different writer for Cactus Coyote. I think he's got a different. What's that other one? I keep forgetting its name.
I don't remember it, but honestly, so he still has editorial control. So,
he's the editor.
Yep. Meanwhile, we're kind of fast and loose because our three properties work so well together.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So yeah, with what they're doing with Wildstorm is that it's all just one big reboot. Such as, you know, how the character Jane Sparks died during the first volume of The Authority. Well, these Ornells brought her back and all that. He pretty much redid all the characters for the new series. There's one thing I would say that about Warren Ellis's work is that he knows how to do a dialogue-heavy book, and not in how the kind of dialogue he uses, but more of what he does in the background.
And Arwen's back.
For example, I noticed when he was writing Induction that if there was a dialogue-heavy moment in the book, and there'd be something interesting going on in the background, such as, for example, during one phone call, you had a hotel room turning into a mystical forest and a creature coming out of his mirror before he banished it from his mind.
Actually, speaking of Warren Ellis, do you want to know what the most difficult book to be a fan of by Warren Ellis to be a fan of was? Planetary. And that's just because that one took him so long to finish.
What?
Planetary. It took him real. He spent a lot of time working on that book, and that was like due to several things. Like when he had like other projects come up, and well, that was also a book that that was like it was either the first or one of the first books that John Cassaday worked on. And do you know how much of a perfectionist John Cassaday is?
I have an idea.
I mean, come on, you've had to have seen one of John Cassaday's books.
Yeah, he's a perfectionist type.
Yeah, he's like one of the. If anyone doesn't know who John Cassaday is, he's an artist that, if I was to nail down his style, I'd say it's photorealistic.
Oh yeah. Although I'd say, which seems like a lot of Warren Ellis's work, if you're a fan of his, you're gonna be rather frustrated of him with how long it takes on some of his work. Such as Junction. It was supposed to come back in 2018. It did not.
Really?
Yeah, but that was more of the responsibilities of the other team members, such as the artist. It got more job offers for Marvel. And I really have to say that, despite the fact that Warren Ellis seems like this super progressive guy, he seems to be a troll with it.
Oh man, dude, there's this one really good clip on YouTube where it's Warren Ellis doing his best Alan Moore impression. It's fucking hilarious.
Well, in Junction, he has this one female character complaining about how everyone's interested in one of them, in the more interested in the male wizard than her, because he's obviously a man. And you realize it's because people have more interest in him because he's the more interesting character. He's got the mysterious past that none of them have. He's a wizard in denial, basically.
Oh man.
And I would not be surprised if he turned out to be straight as well.
That's just too fucking funny.
I mean, the guy also made one of her tools that she uses to fight off a Spriggan, which, as someone who's recently read the folklore, completely unnecessary.
So it even includes the includes the part about turning your clothes inside out, right?
Well, in this case, it's all about expelling the Spriggan's influence. Although Ellis does throw in
Matt, I think you cut out there. I can't hear you.
Spriggan possessing a man who is completely naked, so you can't turn his clothes inside out. Well, what ends up happening is that he has to cut open his back when he's unconscious and turn the skin inside out.
Hearing the silence again.
Yep. If only we had Air Spirit.
Yeah. You know, one of let me think. I had something.
Gone.
Is that going to be the meme? Brett just loses his train of thought.
Believe it or not, I think we'll all have memes of each other.
Well, you did suggest we try making a T-shirt out of me saying, "Why is it every time I Fuck.
Well, I didn't mean make a t-shirt out of it. I mean make t-shirts out of things that people find funny.
Although that would make a pretty good shirt. It's like, why is it every time I comma and then it's followed by fuck with an ellipsis?
Yep.
That'd just be funny. Arwing says I'd buy that shirt.
I'm gonna upload that suggestion to Wicked when we do game stream, as well as the idea of finding people who will animate our conversations. But much like what Rooster Teeth does with their podcast conversations or Let's Play conversations. Which take the funniest conversation of all of them and then just turn them into animation where we let the animator include some funny stuff. You there, Brett? Hello? Why do I get the feeling that we lost Brett? Okay, typing in Slack, see what's going on. If the stream crashes, he's on Slack, so I think he might have lost internet connection. Oh boy. Are you back, Brett? Really? Because you're not in the Hangout. Waiting. Hmm.
Can you still hear me? Oh, crap. I think Matt left. All right. Can anyone still... Okay, I'm going to test the stream right now. Can anyone still hear me right now? Am I still coming through all right? Okay, good. I'm still coming through. Matt will probably be back. I'll message him through Slack. All right. Looks like I got it back, man. Hello? Okay, now. All right. Looks like I got my signal back. Oh, and Hangouts booted him.
Well, here we go again.
Oh, there he is.
Yep.
Wait, Matt, can you say something?
Am I in here? Is
I can hear you. I can barely hear you, Matt.
you can't? Can you hear me?
Matt, I
Hello?
can barely hear you on my end.
Well, that's weird. I think I'll restart.
Okay, there we go. I still have it. I may not be the most tech savvy guy, but I'm not letting technology get one up on me. Nope. I might want to I'll probably defrag my hard drive after this show just to be on the safe side though. Oh my god. Okay, there we go. I'm back. Jesus Christ, this is getting annoying. And yet I'm starting to notice when it happens. It's like I'm not allowed to try smashing it with a hammer. Maybe.